The film commences amidst the summer of 1992, featuring a haunting scene of a vast swimming pool under the moonlight. From its depths emerges a toy boat, catching the attention of the owner's daughter, Rebecca, who is roused from her sleep by the strange noise. Peering through the window, she spots the boat and ventures to her brother's room, informing him of her discovery of his missing toy. Her brother, weakened by illness, assures her of his desire to have it back. Undeterred by her brother's condition, Rebecca resolves to retrieve the toy. She cautiously approaches the pool, armed with a skimmer net. However, her attempts to reclaim the boat prove futile as it eludes her grasp, leading her perilously close to the pool's edge. Suddenly, an unseen force pulls her into the water, where she struggles for breath, catching a glimpse of her mother nearby before she vanishes beneath the surface. Terrified by the ordeal, Rebecca attempts to flee, only to be drawn back by the appearance of the eerie toy boat. Determined to end the ordeal, she reaches for it, only to be pulled under once more. Despite her desperate pleas, no help arrives, and Rebecca meets a tragic demise. The narrative then shifts to the present day, introducing the Wallers, a family consisting of parents Ray and Eve, along with their children Izzy and Elliot. Ray, a former professional baseball player now grappling with illness, relies on a crutch for mobility. They seek a new home in a quiet suburban neighborhood, eventually stumbling upon a large house for sale. Their realtor, Kay, initially hesitant about the property's suitability, reveals its solitary ownership over the past decades. Despite Kay's reservations, Eve is drawn to the affordability and proximity to her workplace. As Ray surveys the premises, he notices a baseball atop the pool cover and attempts to retrieve it, only to find himself plunging into. Ray struggles to extricate himself from the pool covers, his mind drifting to visions of a triumphant return to professional baseball. Eventually, he breaks free, prompting his family to rush to his aid, confirming that this is indeed the same haunted swimming pool from the earlier scene. The following day, Ray undergoes a routine checkup at the hospital, where tests reveal a debilitating condition affecting his motor skills and speech. The therapist recommends escalating the diagnosis for improved treatment. Despite the grim news, there's a glimmer of hope as the therapist suggests light exercises like swimming to aid muscle memory. Eve, though disappointed by the diagnosis, remains optimistic about their future. The couple deliberates over purchasing the house, with Ray enthusing about its potential for family enjoyment and his own water therapy. Despite Eve's initial reservations about committing to the purchase, she agrees for the sake of their family's well-being. In the subsequent scene, the family settles into their new home, accompanied by their pet cat, Cider. Eve accompanies the children to their new school, where Izzy quickly befriends a popular boy named Ronan. That evening, the family sets about cleaning the pool, draining it to reveal a mysterious black liquid oozing from the bottom drain, injuring Ray in the process. Horrified, they call in a pool maintenance worker who identifies the substance as water from an underground spring known for its rejuvenating properties. Excited by the discovery, the family wastes no time in immersing themselves in the pool. As they playfully retrieve coins from the water, Ray experiences a newfound sense of relief in the buoyancy of the pool, bringing joy to his long-strained muscles. Witnessing Ray's happiness, Eve is reassured that their new home may hold the key to his recovery. That evening, her demeanor shifts drastically as she faces the daunting task of writing a substantial check to their therapist. Seeking solace, Eve decides to take a solitary swim. Gliding through the water with grace, she showcases her remarkable swimming abilities. Yet, amidst her laps, she glimpses her husband's figure outside before he vanishes. Simultaneously, the lights flicker erratically, prompting her hasty retreat from the pool. Inside the house, Eve discovers that everyone else is fast asleep. Upon Ray's awakening, she questions him about his presence at the pool, receiving a denial that leaves her unsettled. Sensing something amiss, Eve proposes fixing the pool lights the following day. Meanwhile, their cat, Cider, lounges by the pool, fixated on the water where the toy boat re-emerges, seemingly moving of its own accord. The next morning, Cider is nowhere to be found, her collar discovered floating in the pool. Meanwhile, Ray unwraps his bandaged hand, astounded to find his wound healed without a trace. Concerned for their safety, Ray and Elliot take measures to cover the pool. That night, Eve awakens abruptly to find her husband absent from their bed. Peering out the window, she spots him swimming in the pool, marveling at his newfound prowess despite his condition. The following morning, Ray undergoes another round of tests at the hospital, where his therapist delivers astonishing news. His condition has vastly improved, attributed to his water therapy. Later, Elliot presents Ray with a jar of coins, expressing a desire to play fetch underwater. Ray, eager for his recovery, encourages Elliot to swim alone. As Elliot dives in, mysterious coins are thrown into the pool. Assuming it's his father, Elliot gleefully collects them, unaware of their trajectory toward the pool's depths. As the strange phenomenon persists, Elliot senses a presence near the diving board but finds no one. Suddenly, he hears a girl's voice pleading for help from within one of the purifiers. Introducing herself as Rebecca and searching for her mother, she passes Elliot his toy before abruptly vanishing, leaving him shaken as he recounts the eerie encounter to his mother. However, the usual emptiness surrounding them leaves them perplexed. Later, Ray learns of the strange incident but dismisses it as the boy's imagination, attributing it to his lack of friends. To lift spirits, he announces a pool party for the upcoming weekend, extending invitations to neighbors and friends. The next day, the family attends Elliot's baseball practice, where the boy initially struggles with batting due to the weight of his father's legacy. With encouragement, he eventually makes a solid strike. The coach then invites Ray to try, resulting in initial failures and an embarrassing tumble. However, on his third attempt, Ray visualizes the swimming pool, experiencing a slowed perception of time as he strikes the ball with astonishing force, earning applause from onlookers. That evening, the parents decide to dine out, buoyed by Ray's improved health. Meanwhile, Izzy seizes the opportunity to invite her boyfriend, Ronan, for a swim. Amidst their playful game of Marco Polo, Ronan plays a prank on Izzy, causing the lights to flicker as she hears his voice nearby. Suddenly, an entity circles her underwater, disappearing when she opens her eyes. Sensing danger, she tries to reach the surface but is hindered by the entity grabbing her leg. With Ronan's help, she escapes, but he insists she was alone. Disturbed by the encounter, Izzy remains silent to avoid disrupting her father's progress, even as Elliot senses her distress. The scene shifts to the pool party, where guests mingle, including the realtor, Kay. Outside, Ray bonds with the coach's son, engaging in friendly competition. Meanwhile, Eve queries Kay about the pool's disuse by the previous owners. The realtor attempts to evade Eve's inquiry, but her insistence prompts Kay to disclose the truth. Decades ago, a girl named Rebecca drowned in the same swimming pool, though Kay assures Eve it was deemed an accident, attempting to allay any concerns. Surprised by Eve's mention of Rebecca's name, Kay is taken aback. Outside, the competition between the two teams intensifies as Ray and the young participant push themselves to the limit, ultimately emerging victorious. However, their triumph is short-lived as a sudden outflow of black liquid from the pool's drain enters Ray's mouth, causing him to become possessed. Gripping the child tightly, Ray begins to descend to the pool's depths, oblivious to the boy's pleas for help drowned out by the surrounding noise. Just as it seems the child's life is in jeopardy, Ray's hand is spotted by his father, who swiftly dives in to rescue them. Though they are ultimately saved, the coach is left stunned by the handprints on his son's thighs. Ray survives the ordeal by a narrow margin, but the party ends in tragedy, prompting police intervention and Eve's apologies as she attributes her husband's actions to his neurological condition. The coach opts not to press charges, but adamantly forbids Ray from being near his child again, leading Eve to hastily gather her family and attempt to leave the house. However, Ray's sudden illness and the emergence of the same black liquid he ingested from the pool force them back inside. Despite Eve's fears, Ray insists on swimming in the pool, prompting her to drain it the next day. Determined to uncover the truth, Eve conducts an online investigation, discovering a series of deaths linked to the pool, including Rebecca's. Seeking answers, she visits the Summers residence where Rebecca's mother, Lucy, still resides. Though initially welcoming, Lucy's demeanor shifts as Eve probes about the pool and Rebecca's fate, leading to a startling revelation as Lucy begins to cough violently, shedding black tears indicative of possession, signaling the beginning of a harrowing confession about the pool's dark secrets. Long before the construction of the house, a mystical healing spring resided in the area, capable of fulfilling people's deepest desires. However, its powers came at a cost, requiring regular sacrifices to sustain its benevolence. Lucy divulges that her son, Thomas, was gravely ill, but the spring's waters healed him, leading to his subsequent success. When asked about Rebecca's fate, Lucy cryptically states that she had to depart. In a flashback, it's revealed that when Rebecca was drowning, Thomas, under the influence of the entity possessing Lucy, was unable to aid her as his mother locked him inside their home. Lucy insists that Eve needn't fret over her husband, as he's the one destined to receive the wish. Dismissing Lucy's claims as absurd, Eve implores her for help, but Lucy succumbs to violent coughing fits, her visage covered in the ominous black liquid. Back at the house, Ray, while bathing, falls prey to the entity's possession. Simultaneously, Elliot hears their cat, Cider, meowing from the pool and rushes to rescue him. Despite the pool having been drained, it's now inexplicably filled again, and Elliot is ensnared by a malevolent force. As he struggles, Eve arrives, breaking the automated pool cover motor and diving in to save him. Discovering a hole leading to an infinite abyss at the pool's bottom, Eve quickly secures an oxygen source and plunges back in. Meanwhile, Izzy attempts to call for help but is confronted by her possessed father, who assaults her. Eve battles through the depths, encountering terrifying entities but remains resolute in her mission to rescue Elliot. The spirit of Rebecca appears, guiding Eve to safety with a coin bearing a smiley sign. Returning to the surface, Eve administers CPR to Elliot, but Ray, still under the entity's influence, attacks her. Izzy intervenes, triggering Ray's return to his senses. As the family attempts to leave, they realize the pool won't allow Elliot to depart. Ray, understanding the need for a sacrifice, willingly immerses himself in the pool, much to the anguish of his family. As Ray disappears, Elliot vomits the black liquid, returning to normal. In the aftermath, the family fills the pool with sand, opting to remain to prevent further tragedies. They understand that leaving would only perpetuate the cycle, ensuring that another unsuspecting family would suffer the same